So this week, tomorrow, so today we're going to do FB. We're going to graph lines, which is going to be a little different because we started graphing them last week with F6 and F7. But we gave you specific points that were on there. Okay? Today we're going to take that part away. We're just going to give you a blank chart, and we're going to have you fill in that chart with everything that you need to graph a line. Okay? So that's today. Tomorrow's going to be a formative. Okay? Short day, formative, works out perfect. Okay? Right? Then we'll get those back to you on Wednesday, and Wednesday will also be a review day. Okay? Thursday is also going to be a review day. Now, one of those 2 days, we're going to play a review game. We're going to play Jeopardy. Okay? One of those days. Haven't decided yet which day we're going to play this on. One of those 2 days, we'll probably play Jeopardy. And then Friday, I almost said that Thursday. Friday. And then Friday is going to be your unit task, which is going to be plotting points, plotting some data, interpreting some data, graphing lines, changing around, shifting points to wherever they need to go, all that fun stuff. Okay? So that's this week in pre-algebra. Okay. All right. So let's dive right into it. What we do. Why did it not go on here? Oh, my laptop. I missed it at the bottom of this page. So if we could warm up, is this point on that line? So here is our line that we are going to be using. There's our line. You tell me if any of those points are or are not on the line. By plugging them in. We plug in the x value in the x spot. We plug in the y value in the y spot. And we can hit fractions. We're not scared of fractions. First one's a yes? First one's a yes. Yep. Because when you plug it in, so you plug in 2 equals 3 halves times 0 plus 2. So then that's going to be 0 plus 2. So 2 is going to equal 2. So that one's a yes. Second one, yes or no? No. We say no. Okay, let's check it. So that's going to be 6 equals 3 halves times 4, then still plus 2. 3 halves times 4 is going to be 12 over 2, which is going to be 6. Still plus 2, still plus 2. So then that's going to be 6 equals 8. 6 does not equal 8, so that's a no. Okay. Last one, negative 2 comma negative 3. So then we have negative 3 equals 3 halves times negative 2. Wrong color. It's like I'm drowning up here from all the water that I spilled. Plus 2. So then this one, these cancel each other out. The 2 cancel out the negative 2, but it still leaves with a negative, so that's going to be negative 3 plus 2 with negative 3 plus 2. Negative 3 plus 2? Negative 3 plus 2. Plus 2. I know, that's why I added, because you negative 3 plus 2. Negative 3 plus 2. You got to go up, right? So that would be negative 2, negative 1. When we add, we go up, right? Yep, so negative 1. Is that true or false? That's a no. They're not equal. Okay? Love. Let's do this. Okay, so today, what we're going to do, we got to remember our steps for solving an equation. Okay? So first we do all of everything inside in parentheses. Okay? Then we do exponents. Then we do all of our multiplication. We do all of our adding and subtracting. Comcast, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Okay? So we're going to be given. So here is our equation. So we picked, or I picked for you in this case, 5 different x values. Okay? Later on, I'm not going to pick any x values for you. You're going to pick them all. Okay? All right? So we picked some x values for you. What we need to do then is we need to take this x value and plug it into our equation for x and get the y value from them. Okay? All right? So we're just going to pick x values, find the y values, and then make those be the points that are on this line. Okay? So this would be y equals 3 times -2. What is 3 times -2? -6. So my y value here then would be -6. Because that's what y equals. Y equals 3 times -2. 3 times -2 is -6. So y equals -6. So the point that is on my line is going to be the point -2, comma, -6. Because points are x, comma, y. How do I get to the point -2, comma, -6? Direction, number, direction, number. How do I get to -2, comma, -6? Left 2 times, and then down 6 times. 1 and 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, right there. Then we repeat that process for the next line. Y equals 3 times, now it's going to be -1 that I'm putting in. 3 times -1 is -3. So my y value is -3. So what is the point that's associated with this line? Sorry, this line right here. What's the point that's associated with this line in our chart? -1, comma, -3. How do I get to the point -1, comma, -3? Anybody? Left 1 down 3 from the origin. Yeah. Go right there. Then we do our 0, 1, right? Three times 0. 0. So what's the point associated with that? So the 0, comma 0. Then we do 1.
3 times 1? 3. What's the point that's associated with that one? Point associated with this line. 1, and it's a C word. Comma 3. 1, comma 3. That would be 1 to the right and 3 up. And lastly, we do the last one. 3 times 2 is 6. So that this is the point 2, comma 6. Now, if we did it right, we should know right before we even draw our straight line with our ruler or our ID or the edge of our phone or our binder or something like that, we should know because those should be in a line. They should be in a noticeably straight pattern. Okay. For tomorrow's formative and for the test on Friday, we'll have rulers for you to use. We got a bunch in here. We'll have that. You don't have to use your size. Okay. All right. Let's take it up a notch. Let's change our function a little bit. Let's make our function this time be y equals negative 2x plus 1. Okay? One of the numbers that you should always choose to put in should be 0. X equals 0. And what happens when you put in x equals 0 is you get something called the y-intercept. It's the spot that your line crosses that vertical y-axis. Right? So if I plug in 0 here now, I have y equals negative 2 times 0 plus 1. Negative 2 times 0 is 0 plus 1 is 1. So this would give me a y value of 1, which would be associated with the point 0, comma 1, which would be right there. Okay. Pick a number, any number. 5. 5 is a good number to pick. Right? So 5, we chose this one. Now, when we don't tell you what numbers to choose, you get to choose. Okay? You get to choose. Now, we may not like 5 in the end, okay? But we may love it. Okay? You never know. Okay? So then you're going to have y equals negative 2 times 5 plus 1. What is negative 2 times 5? What? Negative 10. Okay? And what is negative 10 plus 1? Negative 9. Okay? So this is going to give me a y value of negative 9, which means we're going to have the point 5, comma, negative 9. Gibson, do we like this point or do we not like this point? Why not? It goes off the grid. Yep, it goes off the grid. And you're going to have that. Okay? You're going to have that. So we're just gonna chalk that one up. We're gonna keep it on there until we get our line drawn, and then we'll plot that point at the end. Okay? Right? So if we know that at 5 it's off the grid, okay, we should come in a little bit. Okay? So what do you want to come into something? Give me a number between 0 and 5. 3. Love it. 3. Okay? So let's plug in 3. Y equals -2 times 3 plus 1. -2 times 3. -6. -6 plus 1. -5. Exactly. -5. So then we can graph the point 3, comma, -5. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay? Now, with 5 lines in our table, one of the lines should be 0. 2 of the lines should be positive x's, and 2 of the lines should be negative x's. So give me a negative number now. -1 sounds great. Let's go with -1. -2 times -1. Wait. -2 times negative. Negative times a negative is a positive. 2 times 1 is 2, so it's 2. Just 2. 2 plus 1. 3. So that's going to be the point -1, 3. So I'm going to go left 1 and up 3. Give me another number. Negative value. -2 is a good one. Okay. -2. All right. Find me what -2 is when we plug it into our equation. What do we got? -2 times -2? What do you got here? -2 times -2. Negative times negative is positive. 2 times 2 is 4. 4 plus 1. 4 plus 1? 5. So then that first one that we graphed would be right there. After we graph it, we just extend our line down. Okay? What I'd like you to do now is I would like you to graph that one. Let's pick our x's first before we get into it. Okay? What's the first x that we should pick? First x value that we should always pick. First one, roundest number you can think of, 0. Always pick 0 first. It's the easiest one. Yes? Right? Gotta wake up, buddy. Okay? Gotta wake up. Pick a number for me. 5? Okay? Now, if you're looking at this one, by the way, we're on the next page already, just so you know. Okay? You might want to turn the page. Stay with us. Okay? Alright? Do I want to pick 5 for this one? Why not, Chloe? No, it's not so much going to go up the graph, but what's going to happen when I multiply this fraction by 5? Still going to be a fraction, right? Okay? So what kind of numbers do I want to pick to go into my chart? Multiples of 3, because the fraction is being divided by 3, so you want to pick multiples of 3 here to go in there. So I would pick 3 and 6. I would pick -3 and -6 to go there. Okay? Because then that clears out our fraction and we don't have to worry about graphing a fraction. Okay? We can be smart with the numbers that we pick to make it be easier on us to graph. Okay? So with those being said, find me those 5 points, graph me that line. Go for it. We have y equals -1/3 times 0 plus 2. Anything times 0 is 0 plus 2 would be 2. This is going to be at point 0, 2. Then -1/3 times 3/1 is going to be -3 divided by 3, which is going to be -1 plus 2 then gives me positive 1. This would be 3, 1. -1/3 times 6/1 gives me -6 divided by 3, which is -2. -2 plus 2 is 0. This would be 0.6, 0. -1/3 times -3/1 is going to be -3 divided by -3, which is going to be positive 1. Then plus 2 is going to be 3. -1/3 times -6/1 is going to be -6 divided by -3. Negative divided by a negative is positive, so that's positive 2. Then plus 2 is 4. There. And then we can draw our nice and straight So today I'm gonna hand out, or now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hand out, oh, there is another one. You guys have another one on yours too? Oh, man, this one will be easy, this one will be fast, okay? Because is there any x values to plug into it? No, because it's just y equals -5, right? So when I plug in my x values, 0, okay, give me one that's positive. You have positive x value. Between 2, okay, between 0 and 7. Give me another one. 3, give me a 2 negative 1, between 0 and -7. -4, and we'll go -7, right? What are all of these y values going to be? -5. So there they are. Oh, that wasn't the line. That didn't line me up either. Oh, now. I'll go over here. That's mine. Come on, this is mine. Act like you've done this before. There it is. Found it. Okay.